Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback. It is caught by Kelce. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions. How about those Chiefs?
Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Korner podcast here with Dale and Andrew. Man, what an exciting win for the Chiefs last night against the Chargers, and we're here to recap it all. So, Dale, how'd you feel about that game?
I always love a Victory Monday. Victory
right.
Monday is a good day. And so here we are celebrating that. And, man, what a game.
Yeah, especially if it can come against a rival like the Chargers, who everybody, said was going to knock the Chiefs off and so forth. I mean, I saw a bunch of things on Twitter last night, people reposting things of all these media personalities saying the Chiefs weren't even going to make the playoffs this year. And here we are right before Thanksgiving, and it's not a lock yet, but it's virtually a lock for the Chiefs to win the division. So they got to win a few more games, but for the most part, it's looking like it's the Chiefs thing.
Well, we got 2 games against Denver, so there's 2 wins.
That's right. And we still got another one against the Raiders, but that one, man, you can never count the Raiders out. They always play as tough or whatever.
They are an interesting team.
Yeah,
they
keep losing.
Well,
they keep losing by a 1-possession game. So
well, they pulled one out yesterday, so
they
good
did.
For them. Well, I read something on Twitter this morning, and if you read it on Twitter, it's true now.
Obviously,
because so someone said that the AFC West, excluding the Chiefs, spent over $1 billion in the offseason to beat the Chiefs. And here they are, the Chiefs sitting at the top, week 11, basically have it locked up. I mean, my goodness, it's good to be a Chiefs fan. Let's just take that in. Take that in one more time. So
yeah, I saw that same thing that you pointed out too. I saw another just funny comment on Twitter last night. They said the Chargers should be forced to put Travis Kelce in their Ring of Honor. Kelce is a Charger killer. I don't know what it is about the Chargers, but he, for the most part, seems to always show up in big games against them. So, but then there's also a couple of injuries the Chiefs had too.
Man, a couple.
Yeah.
I feel like people are dropping like flies.
Yeah, there was several, right? So Thornhill went out. Tooney, went out early. Yeah. And I feel like there's somewhere else I'm forgetting, but
we were missing Juju, and then we were missing
Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde went out.
Got injured. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and what do you know? The Chiefs, with their depleted wide receiving core, who has no chance against the Chargers, somehow pulled off the miracle. So don't know how that happened, but that's what we were told.
Yeah.
They had no chance because they had no receiver core. I think Mr. Mahomes and Mr. Kelce have something to say about that.
Yeah, I think what the Chiefs corner tweeted out was Travis Kelce may be the best receiver in the league.
That's right. That's right. You need to follow the Kingdom Corner for all these huge insights right here.
That's right. So
go find us on Twitter or wherever you find your stuff.
Yeah. What is he, the 33rd game with 100 yards? And
now the number 1 tight end with 100-yard games. So
unbelievable.
It is incredible. And Mahomes, I mean, we got 17 games this year instead of 16, but he's basically on pace to throw for over 5,500 yards and I think over like 56, 57 touchdowns, something like that. So,
oh my goodness.
And I'm not saying he's going to keep it up. As long as we win, that's what we really care about.
The W column. And I doubt he'll play the last game of the season.
Yeah, probably not.
I guess it depends on what the Bills do. So, in that AFC 1 seed, we definitely want that.
Yeah, for sure. The Bills, they just about dropped another one yesterday. They came back there towards the end, but that first half, it looked like they were going to be beaten by the Browns.
Yeah. For the first time in a long time, I Thanksgiving's this week, and it actually looks like there's going to be some good games on Thanksgiving. I can't remember the last time.
I know.
Growing up, it was the Cowboys and the Lions always.
Oh, they're still playing. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, it was them playing each other. But now it's 3 games. Man, we are living a great time.
Yeah. Other than the other primetime games this year, which have not lived up to expectations outside of the Chiefs. But anyways, moving on. So the Chiefs Chargers here. So Chiefs go into the Chargers winning a total of 30-27. And if you remember, that's pretty close to what both of us said the score would be.
Yeah, I think
you actually had the 27 correct. I think we both had him at 31 though, the Chiefs.
Yes. Yeah, 31-27. So I thought it was going to be close. It always is close with the Chargers for whatever reason. Divisional games, they're huge. And so this is a big win, and them taking care of business is so crucial. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, need more inside tips, follow the Kingdom Corner here. I mean, we've just about got the score right on for you. So we were within a point off. So, but either way, so the Chiefs come out without their top wide receiver and Juju, and McCole Hardman is still out, and they elevate even some practice squad wide receivers just to help fill that void a little bit. And then early on in the game, Tooney goes out with an injury. And so we're just, very depleted here at the wide receiver core. And yet, Travis Kelce and the other tight ends, and even Sky Moore came up and had
huge games.
Sky Moore, best game of his NFL career thus far in his rookie season.
I was a little nervous when they had him out there returning punts, but
man, me too. Once Tooney got injured, they threw him back in there, and I thought, oh man, I'm just.
I think
hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball. I think
Dave told him to get away from it. Don't even try to catch it. Just
well, that first one he caught and ran backwards, and then there's another guy come from behind him because he's trying to circle around. I thought that guy's going to punch this ball out, but luckily he held on to it. So so our receivers came up really big for us once again. I think Jordy Fortson had the first catch of the game, which was a huge catch, and all that. So great job by all these receivers coming up big for us. So I think there was 8 receivers again that had a reception.
Yeah, we may only had
7, maybe. I think 7.
We may only had 7 or 8 receivers out there playing.
Yeah,
with how bad. So
well, and Tooney probably would have had a catch if he would have been able to stay in the game, but his hamstring, which he was dealing with with the Giants before he came to Kansas City. So we don't know all the extent of these injuries yet, but he was out for the rest of the game with that. So, but we had 7 receivers either way catching a ball for us last night. So that was really good to see. The other thing is we have to talk about the running game for the Chiefs, right?
Man, hey, that's a happy sight right there.
That's right. First 100-yard rusher for the Chiefs in over a year. I think it was like they mentioned on the broadcast last night. I think it was September of last year, the last time we had a 100-yard rusher.
Man,
that's a long streak going without somebody rushing for 100 yards. So it was good to see Pacheco running so hard, and man, every time he had the ball, he was running, with his tail on fire, trying to get some first down and get some crucial heavy yards. And just what I like about him, we've talked about this before, is I like that he is a physical runner. He does not try to avoid contact. If he can avoid it, he's going to. But if he sees it coming, he just lowers his shoulder and says, I'm going to get through and get a few more yards past you.
Yeah. It was, I couldn't believe, but I guess when you have, I couldn't believe that stat that was been over a year, but just the fact that we have Mahomes is probably the factor there, why we haven't had 100, why we haven't just ran the ball. And yet we've had so much success in that year without having a 100-yard rusher. So crazy.
Yeah. And he wasn't much over 100 yards. He just had 107 yards total, but 100 yards either way. We also have to point out that it was against the Chargers, who have a very poor rush defense.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's when he runs, is it awkward to you? Does it feel awkward to you?
Pacheco?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one.
It just looks like he's jittery, like he doesn't know quite how to commit to anything, but then somehow it works.
It works.
Yeah.
It works. Whatever he does, it works. But I'm like, that is the most awkward running I think I've seen a running back. I don't know. Anyway, but Andy Reid
most guys just put their foot in the ground and go for it, and he seems to put his foot on the ground, and then see, okay, where's my next foot going, kind of thing.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. But yeah, 100-yard game, huge. Keep that game ball, young man. Keep it up. Let's go.
Yeah. So if we can keep rushing like that in these next games, I don't know how other defenses are supposed to stop the Chiefs.
I think that's what Cowherd said. Not Cowherd. Collinsworth. Collinsworth said on the broadcast was like, I have every AFC team's going, oh, dang. If they can run it like this and Mahomes can throw it, Chiefs may be unstoppable.
That's right. They might be.
They might be. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was against the Chargers who have the 30th rush defense, but either way, rushing for 100 yards on any NFL team is not an easy task to do.
No.
So we'll take that anytime. Mahomes has another 300-yard game. Only took 1 sack, had 3 touchdowns, all to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But one more thing about Pacheco before we move on from him, he was averaging over 7 yards a carry.
That's unreal.
So yeah, usually if you're averaging 5, you're doing really good, and he's up.
Well, I knew. What was it? The second half where they just ran like 8 straight plays. They ran and they went all the way down.
Yeah.
Is that the second half where they just handed it off 8 straight times and he marched them down the field.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering in the first half they started running in. They were running it so well. And then kind of got into the second quarter, and we're like, the rush game, I guess we decided we don't want to do it anymore, is working too well for us. I was glad to see them go back to it there in the second half.
Yeah, you don't want to overuse it. Don't want to overuse the rush game. That's for sure.
You don't want to. Not when you have Patrick Mahomes, but you should probably throw it in every once in a while.
Yeah. Sprinkle it in.
Yeah. And then on that play, I don't know if they passed the ball one time, though. It was completed on that drive, did they? Coming out of the second half?
No, because I think they ended up kicking a field goal.
Yeah, I know on that last third down play is 3rd and 1, and they rush it again right down the middle where they had the previous 2 times. And I'm thinking, okay, I know we're using the rush game more this half, but you don't necessarily have to run to the same hole 3 times in a row and expect it to work every time.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought that would have been a perfect time for a play action. That 3rd and short, and then just get
when you've been running it the entire drive, and then thinking, you know what, we should probably throw the ball.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the Kingdom of Korner tweeted something out like, even though the running game is working, it doesn't mean you can't pass it.
That's right. Yeah, when you have the greatest passer,
Mahomes.
You have the greatest passer in history, NFL history. So let's use them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so then our defense too.
Oh man, that's the story of the game, right?
It is. The first half, it kind of looked like, man, I don't know if this Chiefs defense is going to be up to task against these people. Especially Mike Williams was back in, and Keenan Allen. Now, in fairness, Mike Williams got hurt. I think it was on the first series, maybe the second series. Twisted his ankle and didn't come back in the rest of the game, which was huge.
It was disappointing for fantasy owners too.
It was. So. If you had him, I hope you didn't start him.
Man,
you probably only got a couple points, and
I think 2.5. If you're wondering.
All right.
But didn't that Chargers offense look totally different with Allen and Williams in there? They looked totally. I mean, like you said last week, and I don't know if you said this on air, but I know we talked. We do not want the Chargers to get in the playoffs.
No,
because if they get healthy, they are a good team. Yep. And
if they make it, we do not want to face them in the playoffs.
Well, yes, that's exactly right.
Sure.
They want to play the Bills or the Ravens, that'd be great. But if we don't want to, and I think they would be a lower wild card team, so we would probably have to face them if they did win. But we definitely do not want to face the Chargers in the playoffs. So
no, they are a scary bunch, especially when they're healthy with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Those are 2 big guys that make huge plays. And Keenan Allen has some huge plays on the Chargers' last drive there to keep their drive going. I mean, it's 3rd down, thinking, man, all we got to do, 1 stop. And all of a sudden, Keenan Allen has, I don't know how long it was, but it's like a 40 or 50-yard completion to him down to like the 13 or something like that.
I think if our memory serves me right, 46 yards completion on a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 18 or whatever it was. So, yeah.
It's
It was
pretty
crazy.
incredible. So yeah, that guy is definitely a talented man. So
Yes.
not
So
taking
yeah,
anything away from them. They have a good group of receivers over there, and even uh, Palmer. I'm trying to Joshua
yeah,
Palmer. He had
yeah.
a huge game for the Chargers too. Also, if you had him on your fantasy, you did pretty well. As I know, I faced a guy who had him,
Oh,
and I lost by 2 points because of Mr.
oh.
Joshua Palmer.
Okay. Well,
So
there you go.
yeah,
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough loss. But back to our defense,
yes,
right? I think the biggest play of the game was at the end of the first half, where the Chargers looked like they were going to go in for 7, but our defense held up and stopped them for a field goal, which only
yeah.
made it 20 to, or the score was
To
26,
yeah,
13.
20 to 13 at half.
Yeah, 20 to 13 and a half. So that was a huge. And then to get one straight 3-and-out there in the beginning of the second half was big for the Chiefs defense as well. So
Yeah,
they made the adjustments. They dug down deep, bend, don't break mentality. And so I thought that instead of the Chargers going up by what would have been 24 to
yep,
13, it was 20. Yeah. So that's huge,
yeah.
huge, huge stop there at the
It
end.
is. It is because if they get that score, they are ahead of the Chiefs by the time the Chiefs score their last touchdown. The Chiefs have to go for 2 just to try to tie it. So that came back to be a huge play.
Yeah.
So, and not to keep shouting out the Kingdom Corner Twitter here, but the Kingdom Corner did say, field goals are great anytime you get points in this game, but you're not going to win this game without
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
So you got to get into the end zone a few times in these kind of games in order to pull out with the victory. So you need field goals too and points when you can get them, but you got to be able to punch it into the end zone a few times to win these close divisional games like this. So yeah, and then the defense as well. I think the first half, man, the secondary was getting beat a lot. There wasn't much
Oof.
pressure on Justin Herbert. And to
Yeah.
their credit, Spags made some great adjustments at halftime, and it was a completely different defense in the second half. But the other side, maybe it's just the Chargers offense because their Chargers offense has not been very good in the second half in the past few weeks.
No. Yeah. Only giving up 7 points, and that was at the end of the fourth quarter there, or the middle of the fourth quarter. They gave up those 7 points to the Chargers.
Yep. Leaving a minute 46, I believe, left on the clock for the Chiefs, which, as you know, 13 seconds is too much time. So a minute 46, we basically have our entire playbook still in play at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2 timeouts. Patrick Mahomes with the ball. I think I watched his interview this morning, and he said, "Yeah, we just went out there and did what we always do. We weren't changing anything. We had plenty of time, no rush, and
Yeah. I don't think they even used the timeout until they got down to about the 15-yard line. I think it
yeah,
was 16.
when he ran, yeah,
Yep.
when he ran, I think they called the timeout. So that was the first timeout, and I think they still had one in their pocket. So
Yeah.
but I did think in my mind, oh man, they gave Herbert maybe too much time to go down and kick a
Yeah.
field goal to go into overtime. I wasn't worried about them scoring a touchdown, but I was worried like, oh, we're going to go into overtime, which is never fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the same thing because there's still some time left on the clock when they got the ball back. I think there's like 30 seconds or something
Yeah.
like that, somewhere close to there when the Chargers got the ball back. And then the defense showed up huge on that
Oh
Chargers
yeah.
last drive. The Chargers did not gain 1 yard, if my memory serves me
It
correctly.
may have lost a yard or two.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think they just took some sacks is all they did, and so
Well, no, I think that first play was a
yeah,
QB draw.
well, I think the first play was meant to be a pass, but he saw the same kind of 2-cover defense like
Yeah.
Mahomes had that huge run against.
Uh-huh.
Problem is the Chargers don't have a man named Chris Jones right in the middle. So if you try to run by a man named Chris Jones, who, as we pointed out before, may be having the best year of his career so far, he is
Yeah.
disrupting games at an extraordinary level. I mean, he's the
Def-
best interior defensive lineman in the NFL this season to this
Defensive
point.
player of the year.
He should be. He should be.
Okay, all right. You heard
I
it. You heard it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if he doesn't, well, let me say, his trajectory and his stats that he's playing right now have to keep up. If he just falls off a cliff, obviously it's not going to happen. But if he keeps playing like he is, I don't know how you can not give it to that guy. unless you're just biased and don't want to give the Chiefs both the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, then I mean, I guess I could see that just because you don't want that.
Yeah, when we gonna get Andy Reid Coach of the Year? Come on, let's get him Coach of the Year.
We might as well sweep it, right? We might as well get them all. Maybe Spags is the assistant coach of the year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, with bringing in, I'm thinking about this. We were talking about the defense here. How many new defensive players we have? They pointed out on the broadcast last night. I think 5 of our 9 defensive backs are rookies.
Yeah,
right. And at least one other one, and Justin Reed is a new guy. So at least 6 of your 9 just in the secondary are new faces, right? And so this is the year with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, their first year starting side by side next to each other now that Hitchens has moved on and so forth. But I don't know if you can say enough about the turnaround of this defense when they've had so much turnover from one year to the other.
Right. Now those rookie mistakes they still glare in their eyes, but
they do. They do. Yeah, because I think it was Joshua Williams where Keenan Allen caught that ball on there on that last drive.
That poor kid didn't know where he was at on the field.
Well, and he and to his credit, he had great coverage and guarding that sideline until he basically looped around him on the other side since he wasn't able to get through him on that side. And at that point, it was just over. So
yes, yeah. No, again, he can't do. I can't even compete with that. I mean, so I credit to him being out there. So I think he played a good game though overall. Obviously,
he did. And that last drive, the Chargers had -5 yards because they tried to run it to end up in a sack since Chris Jones stopped that. And then at that when he tried to run, I thought Justin Herbert is trying to be Mahomes here. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to pull it off like Mahomes does. He's like, Mahomes can do it, so can I.
So can I.
Okay, you know what? So you see him trying to run. That didn't work. Then you see him trying to throw under pressure, thinking, oh, I'll just throw it to my guy, and he'll catch it.
Yeah, no.
Justin Herbert, I have something for you.
You
don't have Travis Kelce. So
Whew.
that makes a big difference.
It does.
Yeah, and so throws the ball up, gets knocked back. A Mr. Nick Bolton, who is one of my favorite defensive players not on the Chiefs, comes in and grabs that interception for the game-winning interception to seal the game. So that was a great game to see. Yeah,
that was tip drill right there. Yeah, he was guarding Eckler there in the flat, and came up and snagged that. Yeah. So that was pretty impressive, pretty good awareness. And so, the Chiefs defense, huge. I know we love talking about the offense. We love talking about Mahomes, but the defense really is becoming, they show up in big plays.
Yeah,
they have big plays. And so I don't want to jinx it, but it reminds me of the 2019 football team where they just show up in big plays. I mean, that defense was not good.
No, was not. It was not at all. But they made the big plays.
But they made big plays when they needed it. And I feel like this defense is better. But they also, they don't get turnovers. They just win. Yeah. I think we're still -3 in the turnover department with that interception last night. But, just to be able to do that and to be able to have a defense like that and just win you games without turning the ball over is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But a punch should be counted as a turnover in my mind.
Well, if that's the case, every team has a lot of turnovers in every game. So
because you're turning the ball over to the other team. You're giving them the other team. You're giving them the ball back. So
it's true.
I've played Madden for years. I've never punted. So I don't think I've ever.
I'd have to agree with you. Now that I think about it, I've played Madden for a long time too. I don't think I've ever punted, ever. It doesn't matter what situation. It could be 4th and 36. I'm going for it.
I'm trusting my defense. I'm with Brandon. I'm with Brandon Staley on this. I'm trusting my defense.
That's right. I could be on my own 5-yard line, and I'm still not punting it. 4th and 36 from my own 5. I got this. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah.
That's good. So the other side is too, we got to talk about the special teams here for a second. There's a lot of people doubting Harrison Butker. Just a few games here.
There may have been someone on this podcast. Maybe
It may have been.
somebody.
I'll tell you, it wasn't the guy on this end. So,
okay, well.
Yeah, but I will say it was concerning, if nothing else, that he missed several games in a row. And last night, every time he got out there, hit 3 field goals, 3 extra points. I mean, came up big for us in that game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harrison Butker. I still believe in you. I don't want to speak for the both of us, but I still believe in you. I think he heard the naysayers and thought, you know what? You guys need to remember my ankle's injured. I'm still coming back. I'm still a great kicker. And he proved that last night. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. This was crazy. So Harrison Buckner was signing autographs at some, whatever sports store.
Yeah.
And a gentleman came up and he said, I have the baddest beat ever in betting. And he said that Harrison Buckner cost him $100,000.
Oh, wow.
So I guess he had 2 scores where he matched up. I think it was like the Chiefs were score 28.
Yeah.
And he got both scores right, but Harrison Buckner missed that extra point.
Yeah.
And so he's bet $5. He would have won $100,000. But because Buckner missed that extra point, he won nothing.
Oh, man.
I'll have to try to find it and send it to you because it was, and so the guy had Harrison sign a jersey. It said, "Sorry for losing you $100,000, Harrison Buckner."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but last thing I have for you here, you got some more, but there is still some special teams concerns.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you remember, they kicked the ball off; it's going out of bounds, and Pacheco, for whatever reason, fields it at the 5-yard line and can't stay in bounds and goes out. It's like, why are you even trying to catch it there?
Yeah.
If they can pin it by making it go. It doesn't even matter what you're trying to do there. Don't even try. Because if it goes
that was a hard play. That was a hard play because Nick Bolton had that roughing our face mask, so it was 15 yards added to on the kick.
Yep.
And they pooched it, and it was super high. I mean, like I know Chris Collinsworth said it was going to go out bounce, but what if it doesn't? What if it takes a crazy bounce and it bounces back into the field of play? You got all those players running down.
Well,
but the awareness of putting your foot out of bounds and catching it.
Yeah.
Also, I think they said Pacheco was a quarterback in high school.
Oh, did they? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, for 4 years. And so how much experience does he have in the special teams game? Probably not much, And then he was a running back in college. So,
well, I'll tell you this. I've never played special teams either, but I know you don't catch the ball there. Maybe I'm just that's probably too much, but I'm just saying.
You don't.
You have, if it doesn't matter where you are in the field, if you're playing in the NFL and you're on the field, you have to know the rules.
Yeah, I guess that's your job. Your job is know.
You're paid a lot of money to know those things.
That's true.
So, I mean, I'm not want to just sit here and make excuses, but you got to know the rules.
Yeah.
Got to know them.
Hey, but we got 1-5 back there. It doesn't matter where we start on the field.
That's right.
1-5.
That's right. I think that point was proven even again last night that Mahomes is the best in the league, and there's not anybody that's even close to that.
No, nobody.
Yeah,
nobody. So,
yeah. Well, he's the MVP at this moment in my mind. So, he needs.
I don't know. I don't know who else you would put in there. I know Tua had the week off, but my still debate is, hey, you missed games. I know you lost those games, but to be valuable, you have to be on the field.
Well, that's true. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, long season still. How many more games?
Not that. I think we have 7 games left.
Yep. 7 games. So wow. 7 games.
We're 8-2 now, so 10 games in, 7 games left. So 7 more weeks of football before the playoffs start.
This next game's a trap game.
Against the Rams?
Yeah, just so everyone knows, trap game.
All right, Dale's calling it right now.
It's a trap game. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
This next game's a trap game. You heard it here first. So if the Chiefs lose, you can blame Mr. Dale.
Blame the coaching staff. They didn't have the boys ready.
There you go. All
right. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later this week.
That's right. We'll see you then. So thank you for joining us in this episode of the Kingdom Corner. We're glad you're able to come here and join us. We're all about fans and what you want to know. So if there's something that you want us to talk about that we haven't, shoot us something on Twitter or find us, and we'll make sure to try to get to those as well. So we'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.